Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build the model kit and I'm here to hang out with all of you. I'm going to start by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, just go ahead and lurk. You don't have to say anything at all. It's a Saturday evening. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. I am working on the the Hyper Gyanko high grade from, let's see, Gundam Builders Try Battlelog or Gundam Build Fighters Battlelog. Oh shit, I knew it. I knew it in my head. I just didn't. I'm not saying it right. Let's see what we got here. It's from Gundam Build Fighters Battle Log, which is the OVA for Build Fighters that came out in, I believe, 2017. So this is most of the Gyan kit from 2013 or 14. And then 2017, they made it this. This is from the OVA. This is the mobile suit of a boy. All his family are involved in the mobile suit business for the Fighters series, and he makes a variation of the Gyan based on his sister. So the kid is called the Gyanko. So this is not a robot lady or a lady. We are building a model kit of a mobile suit inspired by a lady. And that is a distinction that I don't know why I feel like I need to make. We have built two Bulmas on stream, and we have built a number 18, and I believe those are the only ladies. And this is the first time that we are building a mobile suit inspired by a lady. I'm fairly confident. Of course, the Nobel Gundam is lady coded, but that doesn't count either. So this is like taking the idea of the Nobel Gundam, excuse me, and pushing it as far as possible. And of course, we've built animals and like Pokemon and other things that could be female. We don't know. But in this case, we're not building a lady. There is nothing wrong with building ladies or robot ladies or whatever. There are plenty of people that is their main focus in model kit building. It's building ladies with guns. And I understand it. It's not my jam, but I understand it. Let's go to the overhead camera right now. There we go. There is Hyper Gyanko right above me, right up there, hanging out with the shields, the movable shields, with the beam saber. I believe beam sabers we will have. Yes, dual, beam sabers, but dual blades. We'll have dual blades. And yeah, I think this is like a 1.5 stream kit, a build. I think that we'll get most of it done today and then finish it up. We do have some stickers, but we only have to worry about some of them. Now, you'll say to yourself, Pat, or you say out loud to your TV or your phone, this is a lot of fucking stickers, or your computer. I guess computer's most likely than TV. There's a lot of stickers, and you're right. But the thing you got to understand is we need these two, we need this one, and we need some of this. If we want, there are two different faces we can build. We can play around with both of them. One face is going to use some stickers. What's it? So it's going to use stickers like, over or behind, I should say, clear parts. Hey, welcome Vash. And other stickers are just going to go on there. We are going to be using stickers from this side. I am not going to worry about individual eyes and getting layers and all of that. So I'm going to be using the head provided, where I will just apply one of these. I most likely will be using one of these three eyes, which are all the same, rather than the look left or look right eyes. I'll probably do the one that is dead on. That's my guess. We'll find out as we get into it. So really, even though there's a ton of stickers here, we only need 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5. So we'll get to that when we get to that. Right now, we should focus on the body. Let's start working on the body. And again, panel lining a lady does feel odd, but we are not panel lining a lady here. We are going to panel line a robot that looks like a lady. You know, we're working on a mech. That's all there is to it. This is working on a mech. I want to thank everybody who came by on my stream on Thursday for my second ever kit bashing stream. This was the second time that I've ever done that, and I thought it went pretty damn good. I thought it was fun. It's not on display, but in future videos, when for like Pat Bear's Anime Club and other videos where I don't have the screen or where I don't have the background removed, when you see the background, I will have that on display. If you missed it, the VOD is available on my YouTube VODs channel. If you missed me putting together what I have referred to as the Gundam Death Sight Super Hell, which was a very fun build. I need G40, which is over here. This snapped off here, which is fine. It's not a big deal. These parts snapped off here. The G1 it's going to be fine. It's not a big deal. This happens sometimes. I'm not worried about it, but we'll design, or sorry, we'll remove it here. So we do have to pan a line, and it's weird, but it's only as weird as we want it to be weird, and then otherwise it's okay. It is a little strange, I will say. Building gendered kits is always a little odd to me, anyway. All right, so wait. We want the short end to go in here. I believe this is accurate, and then the long end will go in that one. Yes. All right, yes, I believe that is correct. We'll find out later if I have screwed that up or not, and it won't be too hard to fix it. Purple indeed. For whatever reason, this kit, I think because some of these parts are from previous, the previous Gyan, and some of them are Gyanko new. There's two different Ds. This is like D from 2014, red, and this is D from 2017. And so they have to put in the instructions like, oh, you want from the purple ones, not the red ones. And I'm like, well, why did you give them the same number, or letter, I should say? The letters are A, B, C, D, other D, G, N, and Y. It's so strange. Like, obviously, again, this is an adaptation, so there are a lot of new parts, but it's very weird. The only thing I can think of is the Gyan from 2015 was also weird. They dropped 4/5 of the alphabet. Yeah, they really did. It's when I looked at it, I was like, I expected there to be a lot of sheets because, again, this is taking a kit. It's taking an older kit and then adding new parts and modifying it. So, they have to figure that out as they go. But it's really weird to just reuse D. I mean, I don't have a good explanation for it. It's just it's a strange bit of business. All right, so that goes like that. Yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, they were just like, I don't think they messed up. They just made a choice. Harold just subbed for 83 months, saying almost a full year. You got me again, Harold. Good one. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote chat and thank Harold for the 83 months. That's so many goddamn months. Thank you very much, Harold. Appreciate that very much. Appreciate you. Thank you for that. Thank you for your continued support. Hope you're having a good Saturday night. What did I do since we last saw each other on Thursday, everybody? Well, lots of lawn care, which I hate to always bring up, but that is a thing that I end up doing a lot. Lots of lawn care. All right, I need G16. So let's get that out there. G16, the back of the yes. So yeah, lots of lawn stuff. Today I watched some wrestling. WWE Bad Blood is still continuing to happen. I am missing the main event to be here with all of you, which is fucking fine. I am totally okay with that. I would like wrestling to go back to doing Sunday pay-per-views or premium live events, as it were. That Stardom show is pretty good. Yeah, I am about halfway through the Stardom show. I watched half of that. Wrestle Universe has, of all things, they have a bunch of other things that are not part of Cyberfight, but they have on a month delay DPW with English commentary. So I just watched the DPW shows a month later, which is still bizarre, but sure. So I'm catching up on that. So I got to finish that show. And then later tonight, not actually that late, during this stream, I believe it'll kick off, is All Rise from Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, which I will be watching tomorrow night. After the stream tonight, I will watch the West Coast replay of Collision, and then I will probably after that watch the main event from Bad Blood. Vesh says, I was probably at that show if it's North Carolina. Yes, this is last month's show, so it's Shoko is on the card. It was really good. DPW is great, and I love the idea of being able to see them without having to subscribe to that as part of a mega one. I love the idea that the primary audience for Wrestle Universe is, of course, Japanese audience, but there are a lot of people from other countries that watch as well. But I love the idea of more people finding out about DPW because they're just looking at what's available on Wrestle Universe. That's very cool. Bad Blood. No, Taylor Swift is not in the main event, Harold. Shockingly enough, the WWE Bad Blood was a pay-per-view they used a few other times. There haven't been a lot of WWE Bad Blood. They actually brought the name back this year, and they do that now and again where they bring an old name back. So it's not unheard of for them to do that. But it is certainly... So, red. Now we got to go for the D that is red. So it's not unheard of for them to go through that, but to use an old name. But yeah, Bad Blood is not a name they have used in quite some time. It makes sense because the opening match of the night was a Hell in a Cell match. So, Bad Blood and all that. And it was also very fucking bloody. There was a lot of blood in that match. It was a blood feud of CM Punk and Drew McIntyre that ran a half an hour and felt a half hour, but it didn't feel too long. It slowed down a little bit towards the end. It was, and there, of course, there haven't been many examples of it, but it was CM Punk's best match since returning to WWE. Way better than the match that he, or one of the three that they've had, it was the best, certainly, and the worst was the one with Seth Rollins as guest ref, because that one was definitely no good. Because that match was mostly about a friendship bracelet, and was less about two guys who fucking hate each other. So, I wasn't super duper into that one. But this one was good. CM Punk won, and yeah, CM Punk should win this. Did I want Drew McIntyre to win? Of course I did. My personal feelings about CM Punk the man, I get it. I understand it. My hope is that they move on, that this is the end of it. I hope that Drew has something fun. I know CM Punk has said in character that he is looking to win the world title. I don't imagine that he will. I could see him in a program. Later we'll find out on the night. I'll just talk about it now. The next WWE pay-per-view, because the next premium live event is NXT has Halloween Havoc. But the one after that, in the beginning of November, will be another Crown Jewel show in Saudi Arabia. And that show will feature the world champs from each brand facing each other, not to unify the titles, so it's not going to be a title versus title match, but it'll be world champ, men's and women's world champs against each other for a Crown Jewel belt, which looks gaudy and terrible, and is, of course, yet another attempt at sports washing. You don't need me to tell you that trying to make the Saudi Arabia shows special and a big deal is a blatant and obvious attempt to rehabilitate the image of Saudi Arabia to the wider world. So we're probably going to get Gunther versus Cody Rhodes. Sami Zayn could win tomorrow. I'm not putting money on it. I feel like Gunther's going to retain against Sami. It'll be a good match, but Sami's not going to win. So therefore, you have Gunther versus Cody Rhodes, which is interesting. And then the other side of it, you have right now, Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax, which is not an interesting match at all, and two heels. So I don't know what changes between now and then. Vash says, more importantly, we have Andrade Giant Panda teaming with Shoko at the not Shoko. Not Shoko. My mind. Shino. That's right, Shino. At the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling show coming up soon. Yes. Shino is teaming up with Andrade the Giant Panda. That's right. It's Andre the Giant Panda, but they don't want to say that. They used to say that, so they don't say that anymore. It's very funny. Shino trying to get a big win on a big show leading into the next gen tournament. Look, the paper says, the paper of record would have you believe, statistically would have you believe, that Shino should win in the first round and beat Kira, because Kira is a freshman and Shino is a sophomore. So you would think that the wrestler who has been there longer would win. But also, they like having Shino lose. Shino is the biggest loser of the young talent. Haru has more singles wins than Shino does. And Haru is the big underdog, tiny underdog, the young underdog. But they love having Shino lose. So I could see the upset happening. I think Haru's going to beat Uta. And Wakana is definitely going to beat Chika. The big one for me, basically, that one could be the upset. It's not going to be the upset. That could be the upset. The actual big upset, and again, this is just for me and Vash, really, but the big upset could be Toga versus Himawari. Because Himawari made it to the finals, and Himawari is my pick this year. But what if Toga beats Himawari? That could be the big upset. Because they like Toga a lot. Toga doesn't really have a character. But Toga is one of the things. Toga Joshi Pro Wrestling loves a big, goofy character. But they also have a soft spot for, my character is that I hit people hard. They like that. So I could see them maybe doing it. I don't know. But yeah, my big upset pick is Kira beating Shino. Because I think that would be very funny. But my overall pick is Himawari. I think it's going to be Himawari versus Wakana in the finals again, and Himawari is going to win. Although I would love it if Haru made it to the finals, and also won. But I'm not holding my breath. Haru is someone who is going to break my heart over and over again, in the same way that Arasu breaks my heart over and over again. A wrestler I really like who is destined to just lose the big one. She's going to lose the big one, and it's going to be devastating. And she's going to do her goddamn best, but she's still going to lose the big one. That's her lot in life. And I understand it. I get it. Speaking again about bad blood, there was no blood in this match, but it was bad. Nia Jax defeated Bayley by pinfall after some shenanigans from Tiffy Stratton, who almost cashed in, but didn't cash in, but still attacked Bayley and provided the distraction. Now, I am going to be a bit cruel here. Nia Jax, I must say, Nia Jax, since coming back, she had been previously, Nia Jax had been released from her contract in a round of layoffs a few years ago and disappeared. Did not go indie, did not show up in Japan or Mexico, just stopped wrestling for a while. And apparently, in that time, had been training. She had been going through and trying to improve herself in that way. And she came back. And you may have heard that Nia Jax is way better than she was previously. No one she's wrestled has gotten hurt so far. And that is true. Nia Jax has improved. Nia Jax is still not a good wrestler. She's just better than she used to be. And that, to me, is evident in this match where she was bad. She was not good. And there were moments where there were supposed to be big spots. And bless her heart, Bayley sold a Hurricane Rana that I can't believe they replayed because it was so fucking botched and so shitty. And I can't believe that she worked so hard to make Nia look good there. Yeah, that Hurricane Rana was busted, and Bayley should have just completed the power bomb and then sold like it hurt to do the power bomb, because it would hurt to do that power bomb. She should have just done that when it was very clear that Nia was nowhere in the right spot for that, and her legs weren't in the right position, and it just makes Bayley look foolish, unfortunately, and takes you out of it. And I'm already kind of out of it when I watch wrestling. It's hard for me to like fully buy in because I'm a jaded wrestling fan. And I'm also a guy that thinks about stuff like camera angles and positioning and all of that. I'm still a guy that in my heart produces events, even if I haven't produced an event in a while. That's still the world that I come from. I still think about those things. We're going to quickly panel line, and we're done with the chest here and the waist, and we can move on to the face, which is thankfully less weird, in my opinion, to do. All right, we need G27, and we need... we need G27 and Y1 and okay, great. Let's get that up. So that match was bad. Didn't enjoy it. I did enjoy Damian Priest defeating Finn Balor via pinfall in a match that was good. This was just like this. Did this match need to be on the pay-per-view? Not really. Did it deliver? I think it did. I think it did deliver a solid match. I thought it was well paced. I think Damian winning was good. Was good for him. I would like to see where this story goes. I don't think we're done because of what happened with Rhea later, which we'll get to in a moment. Because of that, I don't think this feud is done. I will say this right now. They got to fucking change the name of this tag team or this group, because the Terror Twins sucks as a name. It's awful. The Terror Twins is a terrible name for Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. I can't believe that, I cannot believe that no one has said, actually, wait, this is bad and we shouldn't do this name anymore. The fact that they haven't pivoted and pretended like they've always been called anything else is remarkable. It's unbelievable that they have not changed this goddamn name to anything besides what they went with. But anyway, match was good. There was a bit of interference attempts that were thwarted, and that's always nice. You like to see that. Just a good, solid match. So, Rhea Ripley defeated Liv Morgan in a match for the Women's World Championship with Dominic Mysterio suspended above the ring, suspended at ringside, high in the air, not above the ring, but at ringside, high in the air, in a shark tank so that he couldn't interfere. I'm sorry, I said shark tank. I meant shark cage. I've been saying Shark Tank instead of Shark Cage when talking about this match, and I do actually mean shark cage. So he was in a shark cage. Now, Rhea won via disqualification because Liv's old friend, who has been out with an injury for a while, because she has lots of back injuries, Raquel Rodriguez showed up and attacked Liv. Not Liv, sorry. She attacked Rhea. And that's annoying. It's a swerve, bro. I guess this means Rhea should, by all accounts, have a rematch because she won the match via disqualification. So she didn't lose. So she should probably get a rematch or feud with Raquel, which is not interesting to me at all. It is not exciting to me if the two of them feud. I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a really weak ending to the match. It sucks when the highlight of a wrestling match is when a guy who's not in the match but is at ringside in a shark tank falls out of the shark tank. Now, he's okay because there were chains in the shark tank for some reason, and it appeared that his leg was wrapped around a chain. Now, you could see him grasping at something. They'd rigged up his leg because he's afraid of heights. So he wasn't standing in the shark tank. He was sitting. And while he was sitting there, he attached something to his leg, which you could actually see him grabbing onto to support himself. So he wasn't just completely dangling. The highlight of the match was him falling out of it. And then Rhea Ripley with a kendo stick hitting him a lot like he was a piñata. She said, "Happy birthday" to me. And then hit him a lot with a kendo stick like he was a piñata. And that was the best part of the match, which is disappointing. There has to be something has to happen. One of the ladies, either Rhea Ripley or Liv Morgan or Nia Jax has to win on a TV show because ain't nobody interested in Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax at Crown Jewel. Like, that's just not a match that people are going to be like, oh, hell yeah. I can't wait to find out which one of these is the Crown Jewel Mega Champion. Like, nah, that's just not going to hit. All right, we have applied the eyes that I think look good. Got a little smirk there. Got the eyebrows going. We will do a little panel lining on this, I guess, but we'll start by putting the hair together here. I need Y1, 4, and 5. And then I don't know what's happening between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns taking on the Bloodline, in this case, Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. I can tell you that the Tongan twins are not out there right now. I imagine they will be. There has been scuttlebutt that people should stay tuned until the pay-per-view is over because something's going to happen. An obvious guess would be The Rock or Hikuleo, the other son of Haku. Perhaps the return of Jimmy Uso, who has been out, and Paul Heyman perhaps make a return. I don't know. I actually don't know. What's going to happen there? All I know is something big will take place because simply for the reason that this went on last, where the blood feud Hell in a Cell match probably should have gone on last. Like, I have no love lost for CM Punk, and also do find it kind of fun and funny that he didn't get to main event in his Hell in a Cell match. But putting that tag match last tells me, oh, okay, they could have put it first, but there's a big surprise coming. Cody had a Atlanta-based marching band play him out, and then it's live, so something's going to happen. Indeed, Harold, something is going to happen. So there was a marching band playing him out, and then for Cody, and then Roman, who came out last, which I don't agree with, had a orchestra, the Georgia Philharmonic played him out, which is also kind of cool. Um, yeah, my big takeaway is that show started at 6 p.m. and this stream started at 9 p.m. And at 9 p.m., Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, had barely started when this stream started. That's too long of a show. When you are at 3 hours into a pay-per-view, premium live event, my apologies. When you are 3 hours into a premium live event and you've only had 4 matches, that's too long. And the longest match was a half hour, but the other matches were all the other matches were under 15 minutes. That means that there was an hour and 15 minutes of wrestling in a 3-hour show. And the rest of that show was entrances, exits, an announcement, and then video packages of things. And that's too much. Now we being some AEW fans, myself included, that AEW, that like, hey, like you're doing a 3-hour plus show with like 9 matches on the main card. That's too many fucking matches. And it is. They just, because they don't stop. They're just like, okay, we started, and then match. Short video package, match. One announcement of something coming up, match. Like it is kind of fucking ridiculous how quick and how like fast they go through it, to have just match after match after match where like you have to pick your break. WWE runs into a different issue where they're like, hey, you've got plenty of time to you want to get up, you want to get a snack, no problem. We got commercials to show you. We got promos to show you. We got an announcement about this thing. Xavier Woods is doing a talk about the Dragon Ball video game that's coming out, so he's going to talk about that. Yes, that is an ad, but also it's Xavier Woods, and that's fun. Getting in the promo work while he's not a heel until he becomes a heel. Yeah, it's just like a fucking mess. I love this decision here that the ties for the twin tails that we got coming on here are like weapons, or a bit of a nod to the Gyan, which this kit is based on. I think that is very fun. So far, this kit has been very straightforward to put together. This has not been a difficult build so far. And I don't think this is a one-stream build, but it's going to be close to a one-stream build, because there are weapons. We do have the shields that we have to build. You can see that up there, the backpack and all that. But I don't think I think I'm going to be done with this kit during Monday stream is my guess. Anyway, overall, Bad Blood. Too long for how many matches that they have. I did forget that at the end of I should mention, in the conversation we had, or conversation that was had about the Crown Jewel show and all of that, I should also say that Gunther came out to declare he's definitely going to win that, because he won at King of the Ring, which was in Saudi Arabia as well. So he's going to go back and win again. And then he decided to talk shit about one of Atlanta's favorite wrestling sons, Bill Goldberg, because Bill Goldberg was there. Bill Goldberg was in the audience in attendance. They had mentioned that he was there. Now, context here. Bill Goldberg he wrestled, he won the championship on a WCW Nitro in Atlanta. City means a lot to him. He played football in Atlanta. It's a big deal. Atlanta is still psyched to see Bill Goldberg. Previously, a couple weeks ago, in Canada, Bret Hart was there. And Bret Hart was talking up about Sami Zayn, who's also Canadian. Talking about how cool Sami Zayn is and how he thought that Gunther was going to was going to lose to Sami Zayn, and he was scared of Sami. So Gunther comes out and he's just like, I like you a lot. You're one of my favorites, but you're not as good as my favorite wrestler, Bill Goldberg. He will tell you, he will tell anyone that will listen that our guy, Bret Hart, hates Bill Goldberg. Does not like Bill Goldberg. This was an insult. He was saying Bill Goldberg instead of Goldberg because Bret Hart famously always said Bill Goldberg, where everyone else just said Goldberg. So he was just taking the piss. So he was like, "Hey, I was joking before. You're not my favorite wrestler." And then at one point, Gunther did say, "For your son, I hope you're a better father than you are a wrestler," which is an insult, seemingly, but also, what if he's a great dad and he was a good wrestler? Like, what if he was a great wrestler and he's an amazing dad? You know, like, that's not an insult, really. I mean, it's meant to be an insult, but it doesn't have to be taken as one. This might have been a compliment. Oops, I forgot one thing. Oh no, these go together, and then this has to connect here. There's one part that has to go like this. I need to connect one more piece here. G1. I guess this is like the antenna or the hair. I don't know. This is something on the top of the head. I need to attach that. That is G139. So anyway, Bill Goldberg looked like he was going to attack, but he didn't attack, and it's fine that he didn't attack. This is supposed to be either like a hair, like a hair tie, or it's meant to look like the helmet for the Gyan, which is funny. That's a funny idea. And it does look like that. So that's a good bit of business. Gyan has a thing coming out of the helmet. Yes, Vash. So yeah, this is supposed to like kind of connect the dots, kind of look like the Gyan, which we have built on stream, and it does look like an antenna. It does look weird. I know what they're going for. I don't think they're fully succeeding in what they're going for, but I do see it. So now we'll panel line. Guess we'll use black. Yeah, we'll hit this with black. Yeah, we'll do the hair here. Just give it a little. It'll let someone stand out. It'll be kind of a cartoony look here, or like a comic booky look. But we'll hit the hair with some black highlights here. I think that's a cool idea. We don't have to do anything with the face. I don't know what we would do. If I had a red marker, I guess we could do the lips. But again, we are not building a lady. We are building a robot, a mobile suit that is based on a lady. So it's the same, but it's different. Anyway, that was Bad Blood, other than the main event, which, let me refresh the page here, ended. The main event is over. It was 25 minutes. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns defeated the Bloodline by pinfall. I do not have the results for that. Let me go to good old Cultaholic and see if Cultaholic will give me that. Then The Rock came out. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Bad Blood results. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see. Go down here. Roman and Jimmy Uso came back. That's fun. Super Punch, Spear, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa came out. And then Solo hit a spear. Solo, Hooded Man distracted Solo, and that's Jimmy Uso. And then Roman pinned Solo. Okay, Roman pinned Solo, and they won. And then Roman and Cody had a stare down. And then Cody got beaten down by the Bloodline because the guys had walked away. And it looks like they made the save. They did make the save. And then Jimmy apparently was the one that was like, we should help him out, I guess. So that's fun. That's a fun bit of business. Um, hey, Lord Crashington, welcome, welcome. We're working on the Hyper Gyanko. And then the If You Smell What the Rock is Cooking hit. And then he didn't say anything, apparently. The Rock came out. I guess setting up The Rock versus Cody is going to be something. But also, we should know, one, The Rock and Cody Rhodes is not going to happen outside of a pay-per-view, right? Like, premium live event. You and I, we know that. We know that the next premium live event is, because we talked about it, is Crown Jewel, where it's title versus title, or bragging rights. It's not title versus title, it's champion versus champion with bragging rights. So that's not there. The next thing could be Survivor Series. And you got to imagine that it probably isn't Survivor Series. So they brought The Rock out for some TV to pop some ratings, I guess, and to tease it. But like I feel like you don't have Cody versus The Rock until Royal Rumble at the earliest in January. I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe they do that. Maybe they have it at Survivor Series, even though that doesn't make any sense. And it's Bloodline versus Bloodline, and The Rock is not involved in that. I don't know. Hikuleo did not debut tonight, which some people thought might happen tonight. Hikuleo, the third son of Haku, and by all accounts, the one of the brothers that can wrestle, is the one that still has not been brought in. And then a lot of people are like, what about Zilla Fatu? He's not doing GCW right now. And some people think he's not doing GCW right now because he signed with WWE. But the other reason that it could be that he's not working with GCW right now is because apparently, according to reports, Zilla Fatu is a fucking nightmare to work with and was asking for an insane amount of money and flying in his posse and all kinds of things. And then he was like, gave an ultimatum for a raise, and GCW blinked, if you believe some of the dirt sheets. I'll tell you this. Having the last name Fatu is big business if you're an indie wrestler right now. But being somebody that nobody wants to work with means you can only hope that WWE will bring you in even though you're difficult. Like, that's just my opinion. And again, maybe he's not. Maybe he's not an asshole. He's just trying to get what he's worth. And it's just that Brett is shitty to work with and is causing problems from GCW, which is also totally possible. We completed the head. I did a little panel lining. I think it actually looks pretty good doing that. And now we can put the head on there. Great. All right, our robot's coming along. We have built the top half of our robot. It is time to work on some arms. And while we work on some arms, let's talk about some video game news, because we didn't talk about anything on Thursday because I was so we really focused mostly on Thursday, talking about the project that I was doing, because it was in depth, the kit bashing project. Insider Gaming is reporting that Cloud Imperium Games, the makers of Star Citizen, apparently they are enacting until mid-October. So right now until mid-October, they are enacting a 7-day work week. So they are throwing in a lot of crunch. Apparently, Cloud Imperium said it does not have a statement or comment to provide because game developer reached for comment. And their comment is, we do not have a comment, which is like, okay. I mean, you don't have to have one. You could just say, that's bullshit. Or you could come up with an excuse. Their comment was no comment, which is telling. This is an internal email. They must meet deadlines before CitizenCon on October 19th. They're doubling down in the next 18 days to finalize a Star Citizen patch and demo showcase for Squadron 42. That's right. They've got a convention to crunch for, not a release. They have to crunch for a convention, so they have stuff to show, which apparently they are not ready to do. So that means they got to work 7 days a week. Now, obviously, fuck that shit. Fuck all that noise. You're not going to get anything good that way. There have been plethora of studies that have shown that this type of crunch does not produce good results. It just produces burnout and people feeling completely like disillusioned with their jobs. The idea of doing 7-day crunch for how many days, just like, that's fuck you, really. Fuck off, Cloud Imperium Games. Eat shit. In a separate internal email, Insider Gaming Inquired leadership thanked everyone who will be putting us extra time over the next 2 weeks to show appreciation. All those in the trenches with us over the next couple of weekends can have Monday, October 21st on the company as a free holiday. So the idea of working 7 days a week with no breaks and no days off from October 4th through the 19th is you get Monday the 21st off as a paid company day. Woo woo. Jesus fucking Christ. Real garbage shit. Real garbage shit. Let's see. In good video game news, I want to say, like, yeah, it's nice to get a day off at some point. Yeah, Lord Crashington. You know, like the weekend. Let's see. I need G219. That's over here. Oh, I need G119. Sorry, my apologies. G119. G119 is over here. Hey, I heard a little bit about Starstruck, which is a one-man team, I believe, or maybe it has some contracts here. Which is you can use your old rhythm game peripherals. Jesus, Pat, where are my words at today? But yeah, you can use your old stuff in the game here. If you want to grab your old Guitar Hero stuff or whatever. It is a music-based action game with causing destructions as a big hand, and that seems fun. Yeah, your giant hands in this world, and then also you can use like rhythm game stuff. But apparently, originally it was just going to be a rhythm game. And then when the graphics were getting done, he was like, I kind of want to break stuff. Why don't we also do that? Which I think is a really fun thing of just being like, I mean, this is a cool idea, but what if we also wrecked shit? Which I think is fucking fantastic. I think that is a great place to be in. All right, let's panel line this here. And it's a horizontal rhythm game instead of a vertical, which is weird. And the notes are stationary, and that's also weird. Like you're approaching the notes, I think. I've seen a little bit of footage of this, and it looks cool. I don't know. I look forward to watching it on Rhythm Cafe at some point in the future. All right, good. We'll put that on there. We got a shoulder done. We can work on the arm here. Let's see. Crafton are in the news. Crafton signed a deal. They are going to bring a PlayStation and Xbox game to mobile. They're going to do a mobile version of a game. And that game is Pal World. They're going to work on the mobile version of Pal World. And what you may be thinking is it Pocket Pair in like a lawsuit with Nintendo? And it's like, yeah. But like the assumption is that when Nintendo wins, Pocket Pair is just going to have to pay them a licensing fee or whatever. But like they're not going to win the company or shut the company down or anything like that. It's just going to be, they're just going to have to give them some money. So like you might as well keep going and keep making things and keep your deal together. And I guess Crafton isn't worried enough that they're going to do it. They're going to faithfully reinterpret and implement the core elements of Pal World. I did see commentary there where it was like, so even more like Pokemon with guns then. Which is like, yeah, kind of feels that way. Like you're really just doing more Pokemon with guns at that point. But who knows? Maybe it'll feel very different. But that is an interesting bit of business that they're going ahead with that. And of course, they're also working. They formed an offshoot of Pal World Entertainment, which is with Aniplex, the anime production studio or company that Sony owns, and also Sony Music. They made a partnership there to try to expand that. But yeah, very weird, very strange. Was not what I was expecting when I heard when I saw Pal World, and I was just like, oh yeah, what are they fucking up to? What are they doing? Oh, they're making a mobile game. They're gonna do a mobile version of their game. It's like, okay, I mean, you know what? Fucking sure, go for it. All right, G1, 21 and 20 over here. 21 and 20. Great, we're doing it. One thing that came out this week that we should talk about briefly, like we won't get too far into it because there's not a lot to say about it, but I did want to give a shout out to friend of the stream, Harris. Harris is going to be in some way, shape, or form involved with Big Fan Games, which is part of Devolver Digital. Harris is doing some stuff there, I believe. Probably doing a lot of social stuff for that because that's where he be. Devolver is committing to license games with this indie label, Big Fan Games. So this is going to be Devolver's like branch that does a lot of stuff, with licensed properties, which they have certainly a history of doing stuff with. That has been good. Because they had basically Good Shepherd, which is Devolver already has. Good luck to him. He's a good dude. Yes, Harris is great people. So good luck to him and the team. But yeah, they already have Good Shepherd, and they're a publisher that did a few. They've already done a few like publishing deals for licensed games in the past, so it makes sense for them to get in there. And they have Lincoln Hersberger as the general manager. He's known for his time at EA, and Lion Gates Games former creative director Amanda Kurse. And they're trying to do big things and not be just Devolver 2, which I think that's, you do want to, differentiate yourself. Like you're under the umbrella, but you still want to stand out and be your own crew. So it's like, that sounds like the right thing, again, it's a press release, these are people just like putting the word out there, but that does sound like the right thing if you're going to be talking about that stuff. Mission statement of big fan seeks to make genuinely good video game adaptations that are that is just as good as their source material. That can be anything from a narrative adventure to an air combo tag team fighting game. Okay, hell yeah, sounds good. There are already 6 unannounced projects lined up at Big Fan, they said. Yeah, which is good. Good for them. Again, Harris Foster is involved, and I look forward to what comes out there. And who knows, folks? Maybe we'll see me playing some of those licensed games on stream, perhaps. Who knows? Mayhaps. I can tell you that next Wednesday, not Tuesday. Normally I stream on Tuesdays. My bonus streams are on Tuesday. This bonus stream coming up will be on Wednesday. But this coming Wednesday, I will be streaming a licensed video game, a licensed property. I will be streaming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge with mods. That's right. There is a pretty healthy mod scene. So I will be using some Nexus mods to cheat in the game, to do some cool, weird, wild stuff. It's been a while since we did a mod stream. And so I am excited about that. Lashbrook, one of the reasons why I am doing it on Wednesday instead of Tuesday is indeed because it's Title Tuesday, but also because I'm at a dinner until like 8:30, and 8:30 is the earliest I'll be back, so I don't want to miss the stream, and I also want time to prep for the stream. So it's mostly because of a prior engagement, and then it's also partially because I want to watch the AEW show that's on a Tuesday instead of a Wednesday. So that's also part of it, but it's mostly a bit of a conflict. So next Wednesday, I have the game downloaded. I have not downloaded any mods yet. I have watched several YouTube videos about setting it up. And I know I have a bunch of mods that I want to use currently bookmarked. So I am excited for that. And I think that'll be a lot of fun come Wednesday. Whoops. All right. I finished the hand here. We'll panel line this hand and this arm, and then we'll work on the other arm in just a few moments here. But first, we are going to, of course, take a moment for a pause for the cause. An opportunity for us to talk about ways that you, the viewer right now, could support me, Pat Baer, if you are so inclined to do so. Everything I'm about to talk about here in this segment is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things. I would love it if you would love it, but you don't have to. First and foremost, if you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here financially through cash money or using your Prime Gaming token. You could be like Harold and use cash or your Prime Gaming. If you have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch, you get that Prime account. You can use it for anybody. If you want to use it for me, your friend Pat, thumbs up on that one. That would be great. I would love that. You can also gift a sub. We've had no gift subs this month. It is a new month. And so if you want to become the first person, hey, Dirty, if you want to become the first person to gift a sub this month, you could do that. Bits and coins are always appreciated if you want to do that as well. You want to join or be at the top of the cheerleader board, you could do that as well. That's just an easiest way to support me here. Again, you don't have to, but if you wanted to, you could. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else. That's, again, the easiest way. But there are other ways. There are other ways, like my Patreon. at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. I would love to get my Patreon back over $100. It's been consistently over $100 for years, and now for the first time in many years, we're under $100. If you would like to join me over there on Patreon, that would be rad. I would love that. Consider it. Think about it. Think about it. Another way to support me is my YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Obviously, subscribing to YouTube is free. So if you haven't already, please give my channel a subscription. There's also a membership over there. For just $2 a month, you can become a member, and you'll get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So this month, my Kuma Baer videos are all about my favorite shows from the summer anime season. So you'll be able to find out what one of my other one was. I already talked about one, and we'll talk about that more later, but you can find out my other one a day before other people find out about it. It's kind of cool. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you want to one-time help me out financially so I can keep doing what I'm doing here, you can always go to my Ko-Fi or my PayPal, and you can make a donation there. Everything that comes in here as a direct donation that I make through YouTube, which includes AdSense, through my Patreon, and through my Twitch, all goes into a fund, and from that fund, I buy model kits. This kit that we're building right now, the Hyper Gyanko. I'm building Hyper Gyanko because it was available on Amazon for a good price and I had the funds available. Past you is helping out present me. Now, if you want to really help out future me, I have a backlog of stuff I'll be happy to work on. I'm going to, I have other things to build. You could decide what I work on next by having something purchased from my Amazon wish list, because everything bought on my wish list jumps the queue and becomes the next thing that I build. So if you want to say and what I build next, you can buy something again from my Amazon wish list. I'll make a dedicated YouTube video about the thing you purchased, and then it'll jump the queue. I've got Lego sets, I got model kits, I have inexpensive kits, expensive kits, kits that never seem to be on sale, kits that are on sale all the time that have free shipping or just Prime members shipping, free shipping. All kinds of different things. See if there's something there on my wish list that you'd love to see me build on stream, and you could pick it up. And yeah, and there's some gear at the bottom because it's always nice to have a gear option if you want to support me by getting me a new pair of headphones or another stand or something like that. You could do that as well. You don't have to, but you could. You don't have to do any of these things, but that's just something you could do. If you want me to complete the set and build everything that Char has ever piloted, you could buy the Zigok, the Char's custom Zigok. It's just like a regular Zigok, only it's red and pink because Char piloted it. But I think I've built every other thing he's ever piloted that have a model kit, a modern model kit, I should say. But yeah, see if there's something there you'd like to see me put together, pick that up there if you wanted to. My alternative to Amazon, because it's nice to have alternatives, is Throne. I have a wish list on Throne. See if there's something there you would like to see me build. You could just do it just like you would Amazon. And then the most convoluted way to support me financially is USA Gundam Store. You go to USA Gundam Store. You buy a gift card there. They will send you an email with that gift card code. Then you send me a whisper here on Twitch or a DM on Twitter or a private chat on Blue Sky or a private mention on Mastodon with that gift card code, and then I will use that gift card code to buy a gift card, to use that gift card to buy a model kit there. Just so silly and so weird. But people have done it, and people want options. So there you go. There's an option for you. If you want to support me and not spend any money, you can join my Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. My Discord is full of really fun folks. It's a nice, chill place. Sometimes there's one or two posts a day. Sometimes there's nothing, and it's pretty laid back. So, I don't know. I can tell you for a fact right now, looking at you watching this right now, you belong to worse Discords. You belong to Discords that are full of arguments and bullshit and stuff you don't care about. So why not join one that you might like? All right. A couple of video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. There was a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club that went up this week. It is my big live show that I did where I talked about the summer anime season that just ended, and I previewed the fall anime season that has just begun. This week we're watching the first episodes of that season. So I talked about that. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. And this month, as I said, I'm talking about my favorite shows from the past summer anime season. And so this one was me talking about My Dear Friend Nokotan. A unique thing happened with this one where it didn't trip the algorithm. It didn't get recommended to people, and I had like no views on it. So I made the video that I already promoted unlisted, and then I put a new version of it up. I re-uploaded it, and that one has not done well either. And I was like, why don't I try this? I don't think I'm going to try that again. If one doesn't do well, I'm just going to roll with it. But yeah, it didn't do well. And so I was like, I don't know, I'll try again. We'll test that out. Turns out that's not something I want to do in the future. In my next week's video, if it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit. But I wanted to experiment because I haven't had that before, where just nobody fucking watched it in a day. And I was like, all right, we'll try. I have a decent understanding of how shorts work and how the algorithm treats shorts, but not a full one. I don't have a full understanding of it, but I try my best. Anyway, I'm going to talk about a manga that I've been reading, and then I'll talk about the first episode of a fucking really weird goddamn anime that premiered this week. So we'll talk about those things. And then, of course, before that, I do need to drink a little water. We're going to dramatically transition back to the overhead camera. I'm going to panel line an arm, and we'll do all of that right now. All right. So we're going to do, we're doing a little panel lining here. I've been using gray on this light purple just for contrast, because usually the lightest color is the piece of the kit that I use the lightest marker on. So we'll do that because I think black on this very light purple wouldn't look good. All right, so I'm going to start by talking to you about a manga that I have been reading, and we'll talk about an anime that I watched the first episode of. I have been reading The Golden Experience Point, which I'll just say right off the bat is in a subgenre that I often don't read or watch, which is a VR MMO thing. Shangri-La is a thing that I didn't watch. There was the one from a couple seasons ago about a really the worst VR video game that a guy was like playing and trying to succeed in, like a punishing game. That I didn't watch that either. I'm just generally the VR MMO thing I'm not super into. I really like Boofery because I think that's a very fun twist on it. And then like I'm not going to watch season 2 of the Gal Gun Online thing, the Sword Art spin-off show, because that's not something that appeals to me. I gotta, what the fuck? This thing's like really popped in there. Jesus. Damn, that was tight. I did not want to come out. This piece popped off, so I was like, oh, let me put that back on. It didn't want to go back on easily. Damn. Yeah. I want to panel line this hand here. So anyway, so I'm not usually predisposed to like this particular subgenre. I don't know. I think I like fantasy anime a lot, and I like sci-fi, but the idea of just being like, oh, I'm in this world, like the fact that the world isn't real, I think is a deterrent for me. But I am enjoying the Golden Experience Point. So the idea is there is a VR MMORPG named Boot Hour Shoot Curse. Rechizzle says, "Are you sure, Pat? The first season of Galgun literally begins with the line, 'You die in the game, you don't die in real life.'" Yeah, I'm not super into like the season of. I didn't watch the Galgun show. I did watch the season of Sword Art Online that was about Galgun, where people were getting murdered in real life. So I didn't end up going to that one. You know, like I was just like, all right, well, I'll watch this, I guess, because I'm unfortunately pot committed with Sword Art. Thankfully, I've broken that because I didn't watch Alicization. Anyway, Golden Experience Point. It's a there's no levels and there are no professions. You just farm experience, and in the process of getting experience, you find your perfect profession. That's the hook. And our main character, who we don't know, we have not seen her in the real world. We've only seen her in the game world. She has the username Rare. And she was like, she's in the beta test, right? So she's a beta player. She's trying stuff out. She runs into some NPCs, and she beats them up, and they're like, "Oh, boss, whatever you need us to do." And she's like, "Oh, I wonder if I can be a tamer or if I can be like a summoner." So she figures out by like min-maxing some stuff and working on some trees, she figures out the hidden skill Subordinate, which nobody's ever figured out before because it's a new game, yada, yada, yada. She goes through all that, and she ends up with like a whole bunch of parties, and she's the first person in the game to turn NPCs who are quote-unquote realistic into grunts for her. And they become powerful and all that. At one point, she has one of her people posing as her to explore stuff. She's building the legend of her own character. And also, turns out that when her subordinates get stronger, she also gets experience, so she gets stronger. So she's like she's not like a one-woman army, but she is building an army, but she's the only person involved in it who is real. So it's kind of interesting. It's a little dark here and there. There's a whole thing about like them like betraying another human because they were trying to test out if they could fool him into thinking that that she was real. And it's just like, okay, it's kind of interesting. There are some undead people that are very fucking funny. They are not meant to be comedic relief, I do not think, but their reactions are very funny. Because they're just like, well, if I'm undead, it would be cool if I could serve someone who was awesome. So yeah, I'll go along with this. At one point, they run across a giant tree that starts fighting them. And she's like, I wonder if I can subjugate this tree. Turns out the tree is a monster, so she can subjugate the tree. Which is very fun because it's a lot of like her, like, I wonder if I can do this. And then the NPCs being like, holy shit, boss, you whip ass. You're doing it. And by the end of where I have left off in my reading of the Golden Experience Point, where I am at in the chapters, we are at the point where she has evolved. She has leveled up, and she is a demon lord. And there was like a global announcement about how the demon lord has arrived. And it makes me think that the NPCs will know, but my guess is that the other people that are playing the game are going to think that she's an NPC and not a player, because what player would end up this soon becoming a demon lord? So it's interesting. I think I like it. I think I respect it because it's not going down the route of, and we have, we're figuring this part out. We're doing this and this and this. Like, it's not, how do I say this? The fact that we never see her as just a regular person in her, like in a VR gimmick, I think is pretty okay. if this suddenly became an isekai, I wouldn't be shocked. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh no, she's trapped in the game now and the world is real. Like, if that's how like the manga ends, I'd be like, yeah, all right. Because maybe that's what it is. Maybe at the end of the day, I don't want to get super invested in a show or in a book that a lot of the supporting characters aren't real and will just fade away. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the thing that's kept me from watching these or reading these consistently. Because like I know people who really liked Shangri-La, that really enjoyed that anime. There's another season of it. I know people really like it, but I don't know. For some reason, Bufri is the only one that's really hit me, and this one I thought was interesting. So I don't know. I will keep reading it. I would say if you can find the golden experience point, it is worth tracking down because I think it is a interesting concept for a manga. I've been enjoying my time with it. All right. So we're going to talk about Dan to Dan episode 1. Now, I have chosen to go with the spelling of Dan instead of Dan to Dan, but I'm going to keep calling it Dan to Dan, but I'm spelling it Dan space space Dan. This seems to be what official sources are using. Now, I'm aware of Dan to Dan. I have read some of Dan to Dan. I like saying Dan to Dan. It's fun. There are things I need to say right off the bat. Right off the bat, content warning. There's some shit in this first episode that's not cool by any stretch of the imagination. It is not told to be vindictive or vicious or to make light of situations, but there is the moments of the beginnings of a sexual assault in this episode. And there is the illusions of a sexual assault that took place that we don't witness. And I don't think that's me being like woke or like whatever. These are just things that happen in it. I'm not saying those things can't happen in fiction. And that I'm like mad about it. I'm just saying these things happen. And I think that in the same way that it was not wrong that people were like, hey, Goblin Slayer's really good, but it's dark as fuck and fucked up. And the first episode starts fucked up. And I think that was fair to say. I think it's responsible when saying Dan to Dan is the best show of this season so far. Dan to Dan has a great first episode. Holy shit, Dan to Dan. You got to check out Dan to Dan. I think all that's fine. And I think you need to say, people need to say, you got to fucking check out Dan to Dan. Also, it starts off fucked up. The first episode is fucked up. And I think that's fine. Because if you only know Science Saru from Yuri Deko or Keep Your Hands Off Isaacin, and you don't know Science Saru from Devilman Crybaby, for instance, then you might not think that they're a studio that would do fucked up. Also, I should say, it's gorgeous looking. It's absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous. It's fucking frenetic and awesome. And there are some characters pull faces that are straight out of the manga that look perfect. And it really works with the vibe super well. I am not going to say, there are some people out there who are like, oh man, I can't believe people were like, how foolish were we thinking that like Chainsaw Man looked so good? This is what Chainsaw Man should have looked like. And it's like, yeah, motherfuckers, Chainsaw Man looked fucking fantastic as well. Parts of Chainsaw Man are dingy and gross and dark because that's the vibe of the fucking show. And this show has some of that, but it also has a lot of, it has a lot of other colors to it because it is a more vibrant show. It's a more zany show. No disrespect to Chainsaw Man when giving praise to Dan to Dan. So Last Week says, that's what I always heard about this series. The beginning is really rough and not representative of the rest of the series. Yes, that's another thing that should be said, and I don't know if I spelled that out perfectly there. In order to get into the thing, they've got to do some shit. They don't have to. They choose to do some shit. That's some fucking shit. Goblin Slayer is not necessarily the best example because Goblin Slayer is that dark. Goblin Slayer came out so soon after that time I got reincarnated as slime, where goblins were cool and fun. Goblins are the friends. To go from that to Goblin Slayer, like, it was like, oh shit, yeah, we should have put up a content warning here. Yes, Slayer is the name of our thing, but this shit's fucked in here. The shit's fucked is not always fucked in Dan to Dan. There is more levity in Dan to Dan. We're just getting it here. So I think I'm probably not going to be like really spelling it out here. I might be a little vague. Again, this is not me making light of these scenarios and situations. But because the characters do take this shit seriously in it. But just to say, yeah, there's some stuff in here that's not great. So our main character, Momo, is our female lead. She is having arguments with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend is looking to score and thinks it's time for her to put out, and she is not happy about that. They break up, and apparently she's only been dating him because he kind of looks like a celebrity in this world, named Ken Takakura. Now, I did not realize that this was going to be important. I had to go back and watch this in the beginning because it is important. And no spoilers yet. We'll talk about it when we get there. The fact that he kind of looked like it and that she really likes Ken Takakura is important. So she leaves and she sees a bunch of people bullying another student. Okarun is being bullied. And then Momo kind of intervenes and she starts talking to him a little bit. Turns out they're both nerds for shit. They're both otaku for supernatural stuff, but different kinds of stuff. He's really into the idea of UFOs and aliens. She's really into ghosts. And so she kind of flips out because she's like, I'm sorry, I yelled at you. And he's just like, yeah, but ghosts aren't real though. So, and she gets fucking pissed about that. Apparently her grandmother is a spirit medium, and we get more about the grandma in this episode, but right now, she's just like, no, that's like, you're disrespecting my grandma by saying that. And he's just like, whatever. So this arm is fine. This arm is doing just fine. And this arm, for some reason, is very loose. And I don't know why. And I don't like that. Yeah, oh, this popped out. Okay, so we got to do a little surgery here. So while I'm talking about this, yeah, this popped out too. What the fuck? All right, we're doing some surgery here, friends. We're going back to the original. We did the top half of this kit, but it's time for us to get in here. We've got to take this off. I don't even know if we can take that off. Can I take the back plate off here? Yes, I can. Okay. Apparently Lashbrook says it's an actual Japanese celebrity from the 70s and 80s. My main reference point for him is a coach in Mr. Baseball. He's the live action Go-Go 13. Lashbrook. I did not know that. Okay, well, there you go. Ken is a real person. Okay, I did not know that. I assumed that they were just using a name. Okay, real person, good to know. So they argue, and they make a bet. If they can prove that either ghosts and psychic phenomena are real, or prove that UFOs and aliens are real, then the other is going to become a gopher, you know, has to do things the other person wants. That go for this, go for that. So that's the bet. The bet has been made. Let me try to get the back on this on. And we'll see if, by doing this, whoops, oh, there goes the neck. Can I get this on here? Come on. I'm trying to do this without taking off this because it's got stickers on it, but that didn't work out. All right, so let's see if I did this right now. Okay, before I put on the rest of this here. Is this better? Yes, this feels all right. Yeah, both these feel okay. It doesn't feel good. The arms don't feel good here. Like they feel like they're gonna pop out of the socket at any point, but I don't know. I don't have a good way of fixing that. Oh, we do need to put actually. So, yeah, I don't feel great about that, but we'll go with it. Gonna put on this here. Put on this here. Okay, and then put this on, and then we'll have to get these stickers, the sticker adhered again. So I really hope that I don't have to redo this because every time I do this, I think the sticker is going to get fucked up. So later, Momo is at a hospital, and Okarun calls her, and he's like, yeah, there's UFO sightings near the hospital, so there's definitely going to be aliens there, and kind of talks about like what's going to happen to her. Meanwhile, he goes into a tunnel that supposedly has spirits, and she's like, "Hey, here's some stuff you shouldn't do because it could lead to big problems for you down the line." Apparently, she used to. So Momo's never seen a ghost, but she still believes in them because to help out her grandmother, she used to do rituals, and she got made fun of a lot for doing that. And that only made her really believe in ghosts because she wanted to believe in her grandma and what her grandma was doing. And we don't hear about why Okarun believes in aliens yet. We will eventually learn a bit about that, but we don't currently know that yet. All right, we're going to work on the right leg here. A1. A1, 1 and 2, and then G, a bunch of G parts here. So we'll just do A1 and 2. Okay. Let's see. Okarun finds an old lady in there, and it's weird. This old lady says that she'll let him do some sexy stuff to her if she can do it to him, and he runs away, and because that's fucking weird. And Momo's like, "Stop running! You don't be in a race with her." That's Turbo Granny. That's what it said. Sorry, that's what it is. And apparently, if you lose in a race to Turbo Granny, you get cursed. So you shouldn't be running. He fucked up, apparently. Meanwhile, in this hospital, the lights go out, and Momo is surrounded by 3 men who strap her to a chair after taking off her clothes. And these are the Serpos. They are from the planet Serpo. That's right. We got aliens. This is not an anime about 2 people trying to prove the existence of aliens and ghosts, and then they have a fun, romantic comedy time. No, aliens and ghosts are fucking real, and we saw them in the first goddamn episode. Shit's happening. Shit is popping off already. Their planet, the planet Serpo, only has males. And they have to use clone technology to reproduce. And they're going to... they're looking for humans' bananas. So I'm going to keep saying fucking bananas this rest of this episode. And when I mean bananas, I mean reproductive organs. But I'm going to keep saying fucking bananas. So just know that when I talk about people's bananas, I mean sexual organs. They're going to have sex with her and then take some organs from her. And hey, unsurprisingly, Momo would prefer they fucking don't do that shit. And so she tries to fight back. They try to use their telekinetic powers on her. Her phone rings. And then Okarun comes out of the phone. And I don't know how that happens. And I don't know why that happens. I assume it has something to do with the fact that Okarun is currently fucking cursed. That makes sense. If there was an in-anime explanation for it, I don't know what it was. I missed that, and my apologies. But he comes out, he shows up, and he attacks one of the Serpos. And he's like, hey, I got fucking cursed. And so they want Okarun's banana. And he's just like, what? No. So he starts fighting them. And then we find out from Okarun that Okarun believes in aliens, and he wanted aliens to be real because he thought in his head that aliens would be the only kinds of creatures in the universe that would want to be friends with him. So Okarun is a fucking sad loser, man, which is not surprising that Okarun was like trying to befriend and make friends with aliens because he is a sad, lonely man, a lonely boy. It's fucking this whole goddamn show. Okarun gets attacked by the final Serpo because they're like, hey, we only want to hang out with human ladies. And then Momo has a flashback where she learned how to express her chi by her grandmother. And guess what? Her own trauma here and Okarun being in danger unlocks her latent abilities. She's a psychic now. And the Serpo that's still remaining can't fucking defeat her. His abilities their abilities don't mesh there. And then Momo kicks the final alien into a wall. And then they find out they have been in a UFO this entire time. Okarun is just like, hey, sorry, because he attacks her. He's like, I'm not in control of my body. I've lost the will or my own body here because of Turbo Granny. I'm sorry, I need G111 here. And apparently Turbo Granny is currently in possession of Okarun's banana. Because Momo has used her powers to, at least temporarily, free Okarun for control. But if they want his penis back, they gotta go into the fucking, they gotta go to the tunnel. The UFO crashes and then lands, and Momo and Okarun escape. And they're like, okay, hey, turns out I fucking believe you. Because of fucking course they should at this point. Momo's like, we gotta help you. I gotta help you. I'm gonna keep using my powers so that you don't go out of control. Okarun's like, I want to go alone. I have to take responsibility. But that she wants to stick together. Yes, Aristophan says if they want his penis back. Yes, unfortunately, that is a plot point in Dan is a missing penis, or as I've said a lot in this recap, banana. Organs are bananas. Sexual organs are bananas. So Momo's like, we got to stick together. Okuran says a line from Ken Takakura, and Momo is very surprised by that. And in the closing moments of episode 1, Momo says, "Hey, your name's not Okuran. What's your name?" And he says that his name is Ken Takakura. And then the UFO that they escaped from explodes. And that's the end of the episode. So, this show is fucking weird. It is animated beautifully. I think it's gorgeous looking. Obviously, the content warnings are still there. There is still some shit that maybe this is not the anime you watch during your lunch break, which I know some of my friends, because their favorite shows come on around the time that they take a lunch. This might not be the lunch anime. It might have been weird. It might just be something that's not your cup of tea. I thought, obviously, some fucked themes, but seemingly handled. They weren't handled like flippantly, and I appreciate that. This was not comedic. This was not, this is a weird show. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed the first episode. I will be continuing to watch Dan to Dan. This is one that I will be covering on a weekly basis. And yeah, we'll see where it goes and how it gets there. I do expect, I can say for Monday, because I believe it's coming out on Sunday, time permitting, I will talk about the final episode of Oshinoko, because it didn't get pushed back a week. It got pushed back several days, and they just moved it to a different time slot, I guess. So I'll see the last episode of Oshinoko. I enjoyed the first episode so far, but I've seen trailers, and I gotta say, what I'm assuming is Okuran's power-up mode looks really real dumb. Yeah, Lashbrook, look, it gets silly. It is a weird show, from all accounts. I have not read all of Dan to Dan, or a lot of Dan to Dan, but I have read a decent amount of it. The biggest compliment, I saw a good friend of mine say, watch the first episode of Dan to Dan, and now I'm reading Dan to Dan. And to me, that's like a huge recommendation or endorsement. Just being like, yeah, something about this makes me want to get into it. So, I'll be covering this this season. I don't know what else I'm going to be covering, because a lot of what I'm watching this season is old stuff. Sorry, not old stuff. As someone who's current, most of the designs grew on me over time. Yeah, Ghost Valve, a lot of it is not just how it looks, but how it looks like in the context of the show, right? A lot of the anime that I'm watching right now are sequel seasons. And Oshinoko, because it's an ongoing mystery, and because the first 2 seasons were kind of different, I felt fine talking about that weekly. But I'm not going to do a weekly recap of season 3 of ReZero. I'm not going to do a weekly recap of I didn't do a recap of I did do a recap of Demon Lord Retry, and eventually I was like, hey, this show is so weirdly horny that I don't want to keep doing that, and so I won't be doing that. But I haven't really picked what other shows I will be talking about, either the deep dive ones or the overviews. I might be Dragon Goodbye Dragon Life. I still haven't watched that, but that's on my list to check out. I'm probably going to watch that tomorrow. I was thinking of watching that today, but then I watched a lot of goddamn wrestling today, which was not wrong. I didn't make a mistake there. I don't know. I thought the anime adaptation was solid. I look forward to watching more of it. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you. Other than maybe Dan to Dan, what are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you reading? What are you listening to? What you get up to this weekend? What do you got going on tomorrow? Let me know what you're up to. This is another part of the stream where I hear from you, and it's one of my favorite parts of the stream, because I always like hearing about what y'all are up to and into. I will tell you that your friend Pat, it's a lot of anime, and it's a lot of reading manga, and it's a lot of, for me anyway, wrestling. I talked a bit about at the start of the stream those things. Was there anything else going on with me? Tomorrow I have a get together. Some old friends. We're going to be hanging out in a Discord and chatting about some stuff, and that's really fun. I'm looking forward to that. Just a crew that I don't talk to much anymore. So having the opportunity to hang out with them, I'm excited about that. I think there's going to be like 6 of us, and like 2 people will be in the same room, and the rest of us will just be in a video chat. And I'm looking forward to that. I think we're going to do a Zoom for that, and that'll be fun just to see everybody's faces and talk to people. I'm looking forward to that. That's something I've been looking forward to as well. And I'm also I'm cooking for myself tomorrow. I got a chicken breast, and I was thinking about how I wanted to prepare it. It's a pretty big chicken breast, so I think I'm going to cut it up. And I think I'm going to make some homemade chicken nuggets. I got some breadcrumbs and egg and a little bit of milk and some spices and stuff. I just bought more paprika because we ran out of paprika in the house. And I think I'm going to make homemade chicken nuggets because the piece of chicken I have is large enough that I don't need all of it myself. But I'm already defrosting it. So I was like, well, I'll just make that. Also, from my birthday subathon, I still have sauce. I still have a lot of sauce packets, barbecue sauce packets from McDonald's from the McNuggathon. And I'm like, well, that'll be good. I'll just do that. I'll make my own chicken nuggets and then have that sauce in there. And I'm like, that sounds pretty good. I think that's what's going to happen. Okay, so that goes like that. That goes like that. Yeah. Okay. I think I have connected this part of the leg properly. We'll find out if I fucked it up, but I think I did all right. So that's my plan. Is tomorrow I'm gonna make some homemade chicken nuggets. I have heard I have not done this before. I'm gonna try it out. That if I really want crispy nuggets, I'm going to use the wire rack method. I'm going to put them on the wire rack on a metal sheet tray or sheet pan, I should say. But also, apparently, people have done this. They have toasted the breadcrumbs ahead of time for a little while. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to coat those in a little oil and then bake them for a little bit, just kind of toast them. And apparently that just adds the crispiness. And I'm going for really crispy chicken nuggets. So yeah, I'm going to do my own nuggies tomorrow. I think that's the plan. Because I don't have a lot going on tomorrow. And then I'm going to watch the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling show that's happening tonight. I will not stay up and watch that live. I'm going to watch that from the comfort of my bedroom tomorrow. And I'm going to watch that with people. Because wonderfully enough, I have a crew of folks that we watch a lot of wrestling together. Someone will like throw it on in the Discord, and we hang out. And one of my favorite parts of that is watching Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling with folks, because I'm fairly knowledgeable about that brand, and some of my friends are more knowledgeable about it because of me. Which is really fun, and we'll talk about some stuff. And there's English commentary on this particular show, which is always a treat because it means I have to do far less research on things. I don't have to like look up and try to find write-ups, and if anyone's translated, like, what is Maharu apologizing for? Like, I don't know, and none of the write-ups I'm looking at have that translation, so I have to use context clues about what she is apologizing for. I'm going to read what y'all been writing, though, because y'all been letting me know what's going on with you, and that's great. Harold is playing Zelda Echoes of Wisdom and a bunch of retro games. Hell yeah, hope you're having a good time with the Zelda. And of course, also with the retro games. That's cool. Ghost Valve says, just got back from Commander Night. Overall good games. Hell yeah. Help put some Halloween decorations up. Otherwise, not much else. Okay, that's fun. That's cool. Let's see. As I go and put this stuff together. Sorry, it's moving stuff around. Ghostveld later says, "Oh yeah, also caught up on Great British Baking Show new season. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Hope you're enjoying that. I'm many seasons behind on that show. Someday I'll get back into it. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. Finished up the 2010 run of Giant Bombcast, says Lord Crashington. You going back to the classics? Okay. That's cool. Finished Game of the Year episodes now. So now I'm starting Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. That is okay, sure. And I'm enjoying the game at the start. During the start of the game before I've gotten the guild stuff going. Okay, hell yeah. Well, have fun. I liked Brotherhood quite a bit. That might be my favorite Assassin's Creed game. I don't know. I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game in a very long time, but when I was playing them, that was the game that I really liked. So, all right, not much to panel on here on the leg. Now we can work on to other leg after I clean this up. Lasper says the only other show I'm watching right now is Magical Girls. Okay. Which is kind of similar to Bullbusters. Instead of mechs, it's small startup company that has a crisis response, Magical Girls. It's on Prime Video, but doesn't show up in search results yet. Weird. Okay. Yeah, I know there's quite a few Magical Girl shows this season. I don't know if I know that one. Aristophan says, in Zelda, I just unlocked the third bed. That's a sentence I wrote. What a wild game. Yeah, you look, I don't know a lot about this Zelda game, but I do know that you want to unlock better beds because then you get your hearts refilled faster. So you want the better beds. Last says, tomorrow I'm watching Transformers 1 and Look Back. Nice. Yeah, I will watch Transformers 1 at some point because it seems pretty good. And so I will certainly check that out later. And then Dirty says, started playing Rogue Trader the other night for a quick intro to the game, only to look up when the prologue was completed to find out 3.75 hours had passed. Yep, sometimes quick games are not quick at all. That is a blessing and also a curse sometimes. Where you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna see what's up with this thing. And you're like, oh, fuck, oh no. I've done messed up. So yeah, tomorrow gonna watch some wrestling in the later evening with some friends. I'm very excited about that because I'm always excited to watch some Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. My heart is going to be broken as one of my favorite wrestlers beats the living hell out of one of my other favorite wrestlers because that is Life is Pain, and Arasu Endo is going to get beat up by Ryo Mizunami because that's what Ryo Mizunami does to smaller wrestlers in Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. She comes in to beat them up, and it's supposed to happen that way. It's a rite of passage, but it'll still be cool. And then I guess Zaya Lee was supposed to be wrestling, formerly Zaya Lee. She has a different name, but Zaya is still her name. Of the WWE was supposed to be wrestling for both of the titles that Yuki Kamifuku has, but apparently there were some visa issues and she wasn't able to make work. So someone else is going to be wrestling Yuki on the show, and that might have been advertised by now, but at the time of me sitting down here, I don't know what that is. That's going to do it for tonight's stream. We got a lot of this done. We are going to finish this kit up on Monday, and then I will I'll run a poll tomorrow to figure out what we're going to do after this, but I know that we're going to be wrapping this kit up on Monday. I can just tell that is going to happen. So I'll need to know what I'm building next. So my $10 patrons tomorrow will have a poll up, and they will be able to vote. Hey, Jetsu, on what I'm doing next, because I am fairly confident. Like we have a leg, and we have the backpack and the shields. Like I'm fairly confident we're going to finish this kit up and the waist. But like that's all doable in a 2-hour stream. What's going to happen now is we're going to go on a raid. I'm going to go find somebody cool for us to go hang out with, and we're going to go over there. And then I'm going to watch even more wrestling because that's what I do. Is I'm going to watch the Collision replay. But I'm going to send you to some good person or people. And I don't know who that's going to be. I'm going to look right now. Who's doing things and things on a Saturday? Sometimes not a lot of my friends are streaming on a Saturday. Sometimes they are. But I can tell you that my friend Liz has been streaming for 8 hours. Now, I don't think Liz is going to stream a lot longer than now, but she'll definitely be playing for a while. And I can tell you that Liz is going to go raid someone cool. So we're going to raid Liz now. And again, I don't know how long Liz is going to stream, but on Saturdays, she does go pretty long. So come along on this raid because I know you're going to have a good time with Liz Star. Hang out with Liz, who is an excellent VTuber streamer that you'll enjoy. And then come back on Monday. On Monday, I'm going to finish this kit. I'm going to talk about some anime and some video games and some manga and a bunch of other things and things. Some wrestling talk probably. And I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.